Welcome to the quiz 3.1 to 3.2 interactive study guide. Here we go. Have out your sheet of paper, pencil, pause the video as I get to each problem, solve it on your own, and then push play to continue to see if we have the same answers. Come in with questions if you don't understand something. Number one, we need to identify the terms, coefficients, and constants of each one. So number one, we have two terms, 6q and the number 1. Those are my two terms. Coefficients come before the variable, to the left of the variable. They're the numerical value of each variable. So we have 6 q's. 6 is my coefficient for number 1. Constants are the terms with no variables. So 1 is my constant. It's a term with no variables. So that's it. There are two terms, 6q and 1. Coefficient, there's 1, which is the number 6. And constant is the value 1, the term 1. Number 2, we have three terms, 3r squared, 4r, and 8. Those are the three terms. Coefficients, if you have a variable, you have a coefficient. We have 3, we have 4. Those are the two coefficients. Constants, well, we only have one term with no variable, and that is my constant right there, which is 8. Make sure you check out your notes. You have notes on this from page 112 in your textbook. Number 3, we're going to close our accordion. S times S times S times S. Very simply, S to the 4th power. Number 4, 2 times T times T times T times T times T. I have 5 T's, so we're going to have 2 times T to the 5th power. Written just like that. Number 5, 6, and 7, we're going to evaluate, solve when they tell us A is equal to 8, B is equal to 2. We're going to substitute in first. So A plus 5, I need to rewrite that. That's 8 plus 5, which equals 13. A and B are touching. That means multiplication. So A times B, which is 8 times 2, which of course equals 16. A squared minus 6. A is equal to 8. So I'm going to rewrite this as 8 squared minus 6. 8 squared, 8 times 8, 64 minus 6 leaves us with 58. 8 and 9, we're going to complete the table. So they tell us what x is. X is going to be each of these values. All I'm going to do is substitute in this value for where x is. So I'm going to put a 1 right there. Now it's 1 plus 6. Final value is 7. Now I'm going to substitute a 2 in. Put a 2 right here. 2 plus 6 equals 8. And finally put a 3 in there. So now we have 3 plus 6, which equals 9. You're just substituting the value of x, 1, 2, and 3, into x, into the expression, and solving it. Number 9, same idea. Put a 3 here. Now this time it's 3 times the value of 3, which equals 9. 9 minus 5, 4. Put a 6 in there. Now it's 3 times 6, which is 18. 18 minus 5, 13. And finally put a 9 in there. 3 times the value of 9, which is 27. 27 minus 5, 22. 10, 11, 12, 13, they ask us to write the phrase as an expression. So all we have to do is read the words, think about it, write down the expression, the algebraic expression, and then recheck our work. Reread it, make sure it makes sense. The sum, which means addition, of 28 and 35. So this is just simply sum, 28 plus 35. That's it. Number 11, a number x divided by 2. X divided by 2. We're going to write it as a fraction like that. X divided by 2. It means the same thing as this, but we want to get in the habit of writing it algebraically, which would look like this. X over 2. So I don't even want to see this on the quiz. X divided by 2 like that. Product means multiplication of a number m and 23. Now here's a big deal. You might say m times 23 is correct. Well, not in Mr. Howler's class. We need to write it in the correct format. So we want to multiply, always put the coefficient first, 23, and make sure it's touching your variable so it looks just like that. 23m is the only acceptable response. Even if you wrote 23.m, that's not good enough. I want it in this format right here. Number 13, 10 less than a number a. So what are we starting with? Well, we're starting with some number a. So a 10 less of that would just be A minus 10. And this is the correct answer. If you were thinking 10 minus A, that's a wrong answer. Think of yourself on a number line. We're 10 less than the number A. So let's just say here's A. Where would you find 10 less? Well, you would find it behind it, backwards. 10 smaller than it. So we're going to start with A, take 10 away. Number 14. The expression P minus 15 is the amount you pay after using the coupon on a purchase of P dollars. How much do you pay for a purchase of $83? So it cost $83, but you have your coupon for minus 15 off, and your grand total becomes $68. So really, we're just saying, hey, put an 83 where P is. 83 minus 15 leaves you with $68. Amusement park. The expression 15A plus 12C is the cost in dollars for the admission at an amusement park for A adults and C children. Find the total cost for 5 adults. So our A, we're going to substitute in for 5. So we're going to put a 5 right here. Multiplication, 15 times 5, which is 75. And 10 children. So where C is, we're going to replace it with the 10. 12 times 10, $120. Add them up. Grand total with the dollar symbol, $195. That is the total cost for 5 adult tickets and 10 children tickets. $195. Last problem, moving truck. To rent a moving truck for the day, it costs $33 plus $1 for each mile driven. Write an expression for the cost to rent the truck. Well, it's going to cost you $1 for every mile. So I'm going to call it $1 times every mile. $1 times every mile. Plus, in addition to that, it's going to cost us $33 automatically. Whether we drive 1 mile or we drive 500 miles. It's still going to cost us that extra $33. So we know that's our constant. So if it's $1 per mile, I'm just going to call that M, because it's really 1 mile. So $1 times every 1 mile. So it's just 1M, which we know, just write it, M. So it's going to be M plus 33. And this is the algebraic expression. Now they're telling us for part B, we're driving 300 miles. How much do we pay? All we have to do is substitute in the 300 for how many miles. So that's $300, because it's $1 per mile, plus the 33 up front. Grand total, it's going to cost us $333 for that truck rental. Well, that's it. Make sure you study, come in and ask questions, do your very best, get a 100%.